Our region practically invented the idea of public-private partnership, cooperation among business, government, and the nonprofit sector. It made it possible to clean up the smoky skies around here and to engage in some of the first urban redevelopment programs in the United States. Well, more recently, it's made it possible to cooperate to address regional challenges and capture opportunities. And one good example is the Pittsburgh Regional Business Coalition for Homeland Security, which brings together employers from a 13-county region and teams them with public sector emergency services organizations to pool resources in response to emergency, from man-made to natural disasters. The coalition was formed in 2005 with the leadership of UPMC and Westinghouse Electric, and it's grown in the years since. John Degory is chair of the coalition and chief operation officer for a company called the Knowledge Center. Wes Hill is chair of the Region 13 Task Force and director of Beaver County Emergency Services. And welcome. Good to have you both here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's great to see this effort grow. We were involved at the Allegheny Conference a little bit in the beginning of this effort to bring the business community together to help to respond to emergencies. What's the basic idea behind the Business Coalition?
Well, it gives the region an opportunity to merge the private and public sector together. We're lucky to be living in the region with Region 13, with the 13 counties in the city of Pittsburgh, very well connected and organized from an emergency management response standpoint. But the coalition gives the emergency management community an additional set of private resources and an organized way and fashion to manage and work and collaborate with the private sector.
So I recall part of this was lots of companies like the public sector have assets of various kinds that they could bring to bear, but prior to this it was kind of hard to marshal those resources?
Well, yes, the coalition gives you that focal point where you just need to make one phone call or one email. For example, in Wes's situation, he's also the director of Beaver County, and this allows him to have all of his private resources consolidated in a more of an organized fashion, and they're able to respond in a much more efficient manner that way.
Yeah, from this perspective of Region 13, has this made a difference? They've been at it for 7 years now.
Well, we've seen major differences and assets that we knew were available, but once we got organized, the coalition working with the emergency services world, not only do we find pieces of equipment that we can use in man-made or natural disasters, but we also found that we could actually use the people that's working on those facilities, that with their knowledge and stuff, that we could actually put them and join them together with us and actually deploy in other areas where a good example is the storms out east last year. We had people stood up and ready to deploy out there to assist those people in their disasters. So it's been a perfect marriage working on the emergency services world plus building the resources with private industries.
So it's not just for our region and just helping each other. You can actually marshal resources to help other parts of the state or the country if there are issues?
That's correct. Under the state system here, our task force can be deployed either in other task force or other parts of the state, and also could be deployed nationwide. Communication
has to be a big part of making this work. You've got a bunch, well over 100 businesses now. You've got the 13 different jurisdictions within Region 13. So I imagine you have a pretty robust telecommunications platform.
Well, it's yes, we do, and it's actually not telecommunications. It's through the emergency management software that's currently deployed in Western Pennsylvania. My company is the developer of the software, and we market nationally, but particularly in Western PA. Within our product, we've developed a specific alert capability for the business community that allows directors like Wes Hill to be able to send out messages to specific vertical businesses or businesses in a specific county to alert them that there's a storm coming, that there's been a disaster, that whatever the case may be, it gives them that ability. And then from the business standpoint, it allows we, the private sector, to be alerted and notified ahead of time so that we can help mobilize our own resources and then be ready to respond and help the public community.
I remember, yeah, during the G20 3 years ago, that was
Yes.
the beacon system that was being used to communicate and get public safety messages
Correct.
to the business community.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Played
Yes.
a big role in helping to keep people
Yes, and the
up to
Beacon is
speed.
part of the Knowledge Center, which was the management system that managed the G20 from a management communications point of view. But it really brought the entire community together, and it's really been a successful partnership with the private and public sector, and it's a really good example that we should be proud of in our community and be thankful that we live here, because it makes us a safer community because of that.
Very cool. Do you have all the businesses you need, or are you hoping more will sign up?
Obviously, we're looking for more. We would like to build that.
Okay, and so how do people get a hold of you?
Well, they can go to our website. Hopefully that we can.
We'll put it there on the screen,
Okay,
so
very
you
good.
don't have
Thank
to
you.
remember
Thank
the
you.
URL,
Yes.
right?
And we can contact your emergency managers in your particular county. We're definitely looking to grow the coalition. It's a great effort, and that's one of our goals this year, to really show some significant growth. We have many more than 140 plus companies in Western PA, so please.
Thousands of companies that could participate, I'm sure. John Degory from the Business Coalition for Homeland Security, Wes Hill from Beaver County. Thank you both so much. Appreciate it.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Bill.
And we'll be back in a minute with a little dollars and cents. Stay with us.